fire, water, or grass? If you're a Pokémon fan, you definitely have an opinion on which type of starter is best. But after 9 generations, perhaps the better question is, which set of starters is the best? Today on Game Rant, we're ranking every generation's starter trio. Coming in at number 9, it's Generation 8. Grookey, Scorbunny, and Sobble debuted at a controversial time in the Pokémon series, when Generation 8 cut a huge number of Pokémon from the decks. Aside from that, their designs are rather drab and uninspired, and unlike some other generations, they aren't dual-type, which limits their battle viability. But if you're planning to venture through the Galar region, we'd recommend picking up Grookey due to its usefulness in the early stages of the game. Up next, we have Generation 5. Snivy, Tepig, and Oshawott debuted in 2011 and boast some pretty weak stats, making them hard to recommend compared to other generations. Plus, none of them have access to Mega Evolutions or Gigantamax forms, making these among the worst starters of the group. That said, Oshawott is our recommendation for traversing the Unova region, because its final evolution, Samurott, is a beast. At number 7, it's Generation 6. Chespin, Fennekin, and Froakie. These starters from Pokémon X and Y are pretty decent, as demonstrated by Ash's powerful Greninja in the anime.
There it is! That mysterious Greninja!
Plus, the player's starter choice in X and Y affects which of the 3 legendary birds they will encounter later in the game, making this choice of starter pretty important. As for our Kalos region recommendation, it would come down to Delphox or Greninja. Delphox is great against a lot of gyms, but Greninja cleans up against the Elite Four. Moving on to number 6, it's Generation 9. Sprigatito, Fuecoco, and Quaxley are the newest starters, making their debut in 2022's Pokémon Scarlet and Violet. These 3 are pretty well designed and feature cool final evolutions, and are benefited by those evolutions gaining an additional type. As for our recommendation, Fuecoco should be your companion in the Paldea region due to its type effectiveness against multiple gyms. At number 5, we have Generation 7. Rowlet, Litten, and Poplio debuted in 2016's Pokémon Sun and Moon, and were a cute addition to the Pokémon family. They also feature some of the easiest final evolutions to obtain, evolving at level 34, unlike the more standard level 36. Plus, with all 3 featuring dual-type final evolutions, Gen 7 starters are a solid bunch to join you on your trip through Alola. As for us, we'd recommend Poplio for your Sun and Moon playthrough. At number 4, it's Generation 4. Turtwig, Chimchar, and Piplup are one of the cutest trios in the series, but evolve into some mighty fighters. First debuting in 2007's Pokémon Diamond and Pearl, these 3 Pokémon's final evolutions feature dual typing and strong stats, making them a great set of Pokémon to choose from. Our recommendation is Chimchar, and its final evolution, Infernape, is incredibly strong and will serve a player well as they venture through Sinnoh. Coming in at number 3, Generation 2. Chikorita, Cyndaquil, and Totodile had a really difficult task ahead of them, being the first new starters after Generation 1's iconic trio, but they rose to the occasion with their iconic designs and final evolutions. It's unfortunate that the set has yet to receive Mega Evolutions, and their single typing in the final evolution isn't ideal either, but the trio still stands out due to its iconic designs and a touch of nostalgia. While all 3 are great Pokémon, we'd recommend players take Cyndaquil with them on their Johto journey. In our number 2 spot is Generation 3. Trico, Torchic, and Mudkip have easily earned the number 2 spot due to their iconic final evolutions and dual typing. This trio debuted in 2003's Pokémon Ruby and Sapphire to high acclaim, and with their Mega Evolutions coming years later, these 3 are cemented in Pokémon history. As for our recommendation, Mudkip is the best choice for a journey through Hoenn. And coming in at number 1, of course, it's Generation 1. Bulbasaur, Charmander, and Squirtle are the trio that started it all way back in 1996's Pokémon Red and Blue. These 3 Pokémon are some of the most iconic in the entire franchise and are incredibly useful in the Gen 1 games. Since then, they have all gained Gigantamax forms and Mega Evolutions, with Charizard having 2, making these icons absolute powerhouses. When you next take a trip to Kanto, we recommend adventuring with Bulbasaur, as its grass typing gives players a huge advantage in the first 2 gyms of the game. And that's our list of every Pokémon generation starters ranked. Whether you're a Chikorita fan or you like Mudkips, every starter Pokémon is unique and special, and all are helpful on your path to becoming the Pokémon champion. Thanks for watching Game Rant, and we'll catch you next time.